Now, the police invited us to step into their shoes today to see how they would deal with a terrorist plot. They've run an exercise that's being offered to community groups in Lincolnshire. Forces across the country are on the alert after recent terrorist attacks in London and the suicide bombing in Manchester. Well, that has led to calls for more armed officers on the streets of our towns and cities.
Well, our social affairs correspondent, Jeremy Ball, is at Lincolnshire's police headquarters for us this evening. Good evening, Jeremy. Well, what happened this afternoon?
Well, Quentin, I got a first-hand taste of what it's like to be a counter-terrorism officer, along with some other reporters and some volunteers. This file gave us some tip-offs about a fictional bomb plot, and as the whole thing unfolded, we had to decide how to respond. Now, as you can imagine, that prompted some tough calls about resources, about who you believe, about how to investigate the suspects and when to make arrests. And then suddenly the whole scenario changed.
One of the sources that we spoke to a little bit earlier made us aware that you knew someone by the name of Marcus was involved. Can I ask why this information wasn't passed on to your communities or even to the media?
At the moment, our main priority is the public. We are there to look after them, and we will get to the very bottom of this as soon as possible.
Thank you.
Well, I've been joined here by Lincolnshire's Assistant Chief Constable, Sean West. Sean, you rather turned the tables on us today, didn't you? Why?
We did. All too often we find ourselves in the hot seat being asked some difficult questions from yourselves. So we thought we'd turn the tables on you and ask some demanding questions of you to share some of the difficult challenges and demands of dealing with a counter-terrorist incident.
And we did get a real taste of how much pressure these plots create for the police. So with such stretched resources at the moment, are you really confident you could deal with it?
Absolutely. Lincolnshire is in very safe hands. We test and exercise this regularly, and indeed over and above the armed policing support that we have here. As you saw previous weekend following Parsons Green tragic incident, then we drew down a strategic armed policing reserve to augment the existing response and make sure that we keep our public safe.
What more help do you want from the public then?
Simply, communities defeat terrorism. Whilst I've shared our job with you today, it's not just our job, it's the opportunity of the community. So there are eyes and ears. We would expect and hope for everything that's suspicious, even if it seems quite innocuous, to be reported so we can investigate it out and keep our public safe.
Assistant Chief Constable Sean West, many thanks for joining us. And one final thought from the police at today's exercise. When it comes to dealing with terrorism plots, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't.
OK, Jeremy, thank you.